Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, we're going to be looking at the brand new AFERY Nano 100 portable power station. This one is a 100-watt little unit and it offers us 99.2 watt hours, which I think is actually rather amazing, bearing in mind how small this thing is. Of course, it does have quite a few other good points going for it, which we'll have a look towards the end of the video. As you can see in front of me, guys, I do have two of them because they do come in two different colors. We've got the charcoal grey and pink. So AFERY kindly offer me one of those for the review. And of course, guys, we're now offering you a chance to win one of those as well. So if you do, please stick around towards the end of the video. I'm going to let you know how you can win one of them. So without further ado, guys, if I turn the camera around, we'll have a closer look and see what it's got to offer. So there we are. So this is the box. Inside the box, right, it came with a little manual. Nothing special, it just gives you some information on different languages and the capacities. Anything basically you need to know, it's there. And also, which is rather good, it came with a little adapter. So USB Type-C to their little solar charging, because that little unit could be charged via a little 100-watt solar panel, which is, I think, actually amazing. But yeah, there we are. So this is what it comes with. So now, if we have a look in the box, so it tells us here, 100 watts, 99.2 watt hours, and it's given us 31,000 milliamp, which is really, really good. We're talking this is more 3 times or 4 times the size of an average power bank. And if you have a look on the other side, right, it just gives you the information about the unit. You've got the product name, the model, tells you the capacity, like 99.2 watt hours. It's a LiFePort 4 battery, which is really, really good now. They are one of the best batteries now on the market. You've got 2,000 times the cycle of charge and discharge. You've got the charging temperatures, discharge temperatures, size. It weighs 1.1 kilo, which is rather good. In this instance, we are pink in color. And then it gives you information here about the inputs and the outputs in the volts, which also tells you that on a unit. So let's actually now have a look at the unit itself. So there we are. Look at that. This does look rather sweet. It's just so compact. It just feels really nice in the hand. It's got a nice little finish to it. So, right, there we are. So this is the front. We've got lovely feet in here, and you've got some information there. Again, it tells you all about the wattage of your USBs. Basically, again, everything you need to know is there for you. Nice little non-slip feet there, sides. And this is what it looks like in the back, and this is the top. So, first of all, in the top here, you can see we've got a cable, but look at that. How clever is that? It comes out and you can put it back in. I think this is superb. It's nothing worse, really, than having a cables that are kicking about and getting tangled everywhere. So having that, I think, is a very, very good idea. So the top cable here, you can see this is actually in and out, which is, I think, is really brilliant. So it's 100 watts max. And this is what, so we've got USB Type-C here, and this is your little connector. So you plug this in there, and if you buy a solar panel, you can plug this in and you can charge the unit. Alternatively, you can actually charge anything that you have USB Type-C connector with that, which I think is great. So now the front, if I put it on, you've got a button here for display. So it comes on, there we go. So, and it tells us here on the side, we've got the input, which is nothing currently coming in. We've got the battery, we've got 88%, and we've got the output, which is nothing coming out at the moment. So display button here, just to turn the display off after it's hibernated. Sorry, turn it on after it's hibernated. You've got in and out, 45 watt maximum here, and USB Type A on the side there. So now let me plug a few things in so you get a rough idea how that works. So I'm going to plug in my phone to charge here. So the phone's going to charge. We can see, it tells us here it's taking a 5 watts currently, between 4 and 5. And it's telling us here we've got 13 hours of the unit running that sort of wattage. And now let's plug in my microphone. So I'm going to use that here. Plug in, right. Put that in here. Here we go. You can see the wattage is going up. Okay, and they're telling us now we've got 6.2 hours until it's depleted. But of course, depending on the state of your whatever you're charging, and of course depending on how full your battery is. You can see mine's here only at the 88%. And of course you've got yourself a third output here if you did want to plug something else in. But you can see simultaneously you can charge at least 3 items, and it's in the real lifetime. You can see things are changing. So if you now wanted to charge the unit itself, of course you can use that to plug it in into the something else, which I'm going to be doing this right now. So undo that. I'm putting it into the 100-watt unit here. Here we go. So you can see it's now taking, let me just unplug that for you. So you can see now it's taking 97 watts, it's charging, and it says it's going to be ready in 8 minutes. But yeah, pretty much full capacity. So, but it gives you an idea. So you can charge it through here, or of course you can charge it through the output here. But because it's a 45 watts, it's going to take in obviously a little bit longer to charge it. But it's a general, right? It is really good. I do love the idea of having a display, okay? I do have a lot of power banks, and it is a little bit of a nightmare because having an indicator by light is great, but sometimes you just need to know how long you've got left or how much power we have left in the little unit. It's really plain, really self-explanatory, and it gives you all the information really you need. So there we are. So guys, there we are. This is really self-explanatory. This is a very easy to understand unit, very easy to work. There's no complications anywhere. Everything's there right on the display, tell you, so you know exactly what's coming in, exactly what's going out. So for anybody who's wondering, the length of the cable on the top, it's 0.7 meters, which I think is more than enough. And the total output is 145 watts total, which I think is really, really good, bearing in mind the size of that unit. So yes, guys, this is literally as simple as that. 1.1 kilo. It's really nice, really easy. It just feels, I don't know, feels like a good little unit. To some of you might be wondering sort of why would you have one of those? Because yes, you can have a power banks or you can have a bigger unit, but it depends really. I think it's perfect that they've introduced this kind of unit. It sits kind of in between. It's great to have a little power banks, which I have a lot of, and quite often I charge my microphones or my phone whilst I'm doing my video editing, but quite often it runs out of the power rather quickly, depending on the equipment that you're using, and I end up sort of changing and swapping and changing and waiting. And again, because there's no display on the power banks, generally you don't really know. You just go by the little indicators, and a little bit annoying sometimes. I like the idea of seeing how much power I have, how much power is coming out, and how long I have until I deplete the unit. And the whole fact, I think as well, that you can actually charge and discharge from the same cable, I think is pretty good. And its unit knows, when you plug it in, it knows whether it's actually going to be giving power or it's taking power, which I think is rather clever. So there we are, right? There's nothing more to it, guys. It is a lovely little unit, and to me, it really fits in a specific spot in between of little power banks and big units. You can still take it yourself, like where you're going to camping in a car, whatever you're going. It's to me, it's really good. So now, anyway, as to some of you who want to enter to win one of those little units, in fact, this exact one. So all you got to do, okay, is to comment Nano 100 in the bottom there, and followed by your normal comment, whatever you want to say. And then I'll be picking the winner at random, and I'll be publishing this on my community post in about 2 weeks. So otherwise, guys, well, I'll put all the information down in the description below. Otherwise, thank you very much for watching. I shall see you in the next video. Bye-bye.